Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Esteem Show. My name is Master Esteban Baez. I'm a fifth-degree black belt in Taekwondo and a student of personal development and certified hypnotherapist Justin Kunst. Justin, are you there? Are you live?
Yes, I am, Master Baez. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you, the viewer, are having a fantastic day.
Excellent, excellent. And those of you that haven't noticed, this is Justin Kunst. He just shaved, so he looks a little different from our previous videos. It looks good, Justin. I like
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, yeah. The beard was, getting down to the Moses level, so I decided just take it off.
No problem, no problem. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. But before we do, I just want to invite everyone that's watching to take a look at some of our previous videos. And you can follow them, or you can find the videos just by going to the website, reprogram.com. And this is a series about self-esteem. So make sure that you visit the website, register. We also have a tech not doing live on the show, but you can get access to that technique by registering on the website. So today we're talking about how can self-esteem difficult situations. So that's the topic today. So I hope you guys enjoy the show and our answers to this question. How can self-esteem help you through difficult situations? I'll let Justin take it over from here. Justin, how can this happen? How can we do this with self-esteem?
Oh, absolutely. As we were talking about in our previous videos, your self-esteem can serve as a rule and a guide to what's possible in your life. Now, your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself, and how you think other people see you. It's also how you speak to yourself. So when you have a good, high self-esteem, you're confident in yourself, you feel love towards yourself, you're going to be able to essentially do more in life, or do more of what you want in life. Because we all are doing, it's all about if we're doing what we want to do, what we love to do, or if we feel that we can't. So, as an example, we got a couple of things, and one is losing a loved one. Be it through end of a relationship or even a death, and having to go through that change and cope with that change. The other example that we're using today is getting a new job or a new prospect or client into your, we'll say, coaching business, if you have a coaching business. So do you have any input on that, Master Baez?
Well, another difficult situation that I want us to go over would be, you said getting a new job, but how about losing a job or losing income? How can self-esteem help us through the loss? So we talked about, you're talking about the loss of a relationship, a loved one. This could be death or through a breakup. And we're talking about the loss of a job or losing a significant amount of income, losing clients, the industry of coaching, losing your clients, or just a regular person that's watching the show that is an employee being laid off or losing their job. So so that's why we're talking about this. Why is self-esteem so important in life?
Yeah, and in each of these examples, it's all about change and being able to cope with change. If you feel that things will come out good for you, which generally a person who has good self-esteem and has that confidence, when you feel that things are going to come out well for you, they will in most cases. There of course there's always outside influences, but essentially at the core root, if you have a low self-esteem, you're going to kind of think right off the bat that it's not going to work out. So you won't ever think that you will be able to recover from the loss of your relationship, or that you'll find a new relationship, or that you'll be okay with yourself without having to need another person. Likewise, losing that income or losing a job, okay, it's the same thing. If you feel that you're, not going to be able to go out there and recover that income in a new way, you're automatically going to shut that down. You're gonna rule out the possibilities even before you pursue them. And that right there, I mean, is the difference between a person who has a high self-esteem and a person who has a low self-esteem.
So we're talking here again about self-fulfilled. The way that we feel about ourselves is basically what we will bring about in our lives. So if we have a good feeling about ourselves, regardless of what's going on, let's say somebody says, I don't want to be with you anymore, my partner says this, which has happened to me in the past many times, right, where somebody doesn't want to be my partner anymore, then if I feel good about myself, then I just look at that as, oh, okay, I guess it wasn't meant to be, and then I move on. Same thing with a job. I've been laid off before or fired. In this case, laid off. I really never been fired. Somebody says to me, okay, listen, we don't have a budget for you anymore in our company, and you're the newest person in the company. We're going to have to let you go. Instead of getting devastated and feeling, didn't work out, move on to the next one. And but it's not always that easy, Justin, because we have feelings and emotions that can spring up. So if I have low self-esteem, the natural feeling that usually comes up is anger and depression. So I think that's we should focus on anger and depression. How do we deal with anger and depression? If somebody that I gave my heart to breaks up with me, I naturally would feel angry and depressed if I have low self-esteem. So how do I deal with the emotions of saying, how could this, the questions that come up, how could this person take advantage of me? I gave them everything, and in return they gave me nothing. Same thing for a company. You dedicate yourself to a company. You give your hours of the day, and you're there fully hearted, giving your time and energy to make the company successful. Listen, we're done with you. We don't have a need for you anymore. We don't have a budget for you anymore. We're going to have to let you go. Natural feelings, low self-esteem. I'm upset. Anger comes up. I get depressed. I don't want to do anything anymore. How do I deal with that?
Yeah, you bring up those emotions right there, are really the first step to recovering from that. It's natural to feel that anger and that depression. It really is. But as long as you stay in that mode, you're not going to be able to take the next step in your life. Also included in that is doubt, a lot of doubt. People who have low self-esteem, they'll say it in their language. If you know anyone like this, you'll hear it. Oh, I doubt that would happen. That's a common phrase looking into the future for a person who doesn't feel confident. So the first step and this is going to segue right into our technique for today, is being able to see that angry self, you being angry, see it from a third person perspective, and see not just you in that angry or that depressed mode or that doubtful mode, but being able to go through those times that you feel angry about, the situations that you feel angry from your past and pertaining to the relationship or your job, and being able to step out of it, look at it, and feel okay with it. Because that's going to be the first step to getting over those emotions and then being able to build in more positive ones.
So you cut off a little bit, and I'm not sure if our viewers were able to hear. You said being able to see it from an outside perspective. Is that what you said?
Yes, to be able to see it from an outside perspective or a third-party perspective. And what that's going to do for you is disconnect the emotions. It's not that you're denying them or trying to shovel them away, but all you're doing is disconnecting the feeling and making it so that you're doing what's called a meta state, which is where you're here and you're looking at a state to gain more understanding and to see it from a more logical perspective.
So stepping out of yourself, basically. You're seeing it as an outsider, not as if it's happening to you, even though this is happening to me. You know, my partner broke up with me, my job laid me off or fired me. This is happening, okay? So what I do is I step out. How do I do that? How do I step out, Justin? I'm feeling angry and frustrated. So would I need to pause, go to a quiet room, relax, go to the beach? Where do I go? You know, because the natural thing is to get angry and get even. You know, how do I get even at these people? You know, because I feel like they did an injustice to me. Okay. You also spoke about language. You were saying that when we have low self-esteem, we have doubt. So we express doubt. We also express doubt in ourselves by saying, you know, am I not good enough? That's a
Mm-hmm.
question that expresses doubt. Is challenging my worth. I'm not good enough for this person, therefore they left me. So I guess I got to listen to my language as I'm going through these experiences of loss. Whatever it is that I'm losing in my life, if I start going into the language of doubt, language of blame, these are uh, flags, right? If I'm doubting, if I'm blaming, if I'm, it, I guess those two things, doubting and blaming. If I'm doubting
Yeah.
and blaming,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your language is
no,
going
go.
to, a person's language reflects what's happening on the inside. And some schools of thought is to change language, change your inside, okay, which does work when you become consciously aware of that, but more so change those feelings, change your self-esteem or how you feel about yourself and how you feel about other things, and that language will change naturally. You don't have to force it. You just work with the inside, and that's going to ripple out onto the outside. And
That
one of the great things is you don't have to go to the beach. You can just sit right there, and we'll do an exercise to be able to make that disconnection, to be able to not disconnect, to make that third
let's
party
do it.
perspective. All right.
So let's do it. Let's take
So
our viewers. So if you're watching, go ahead and follow Justin for the simple exercise. Justin, we have about another 5 minutes for the show. So let's do it.
awesome. So what I'd like you to do is and what I invite you to do is to close your eyes and relax your body. And you can do that just by taking a nice deep breath in from the belly and let it out with a sigh. Oh,
Ah,
that's right. And go ahead and do that again. Breathe in, nice full breath from the belly, and let it out with a sigh.
ah.
That's right. And notice how your body changes, becomes more relaxed. Your mind changes. Your thoughts slow. The space in between your thoughts grows larger. That's right. And what we're going to do is begin with a state of peace, relaxation. Then we're actually going to go into a state of anger or depression or doubt or whatever negative feeling you want to change. And then we're going to go back into a state of peace and relaxation. And just begin by relaxing your body. One more time. Nice deep breath in. And let it out with a sigh. Oh, that's right. Shoulders relaxing, body relaxing. And always know that you can easily come back to this state now, this feeling and this being of relaxation. And now, place yourself in a time that makes you angry when you think about it, or whatever negative emotion that you don't like, and you want to change, and you want to disconnect from. Be in that moment and feel it. Allow the emotions to come up. Feel that. It's okay to feel that emotion right now. And now, as you are feeling that, you're looking through your own eyes in that situation. Look around and see what's around you in that situation there, where you're feeling angry. And just as the anger or that negative feeling peaks, step out of it and look at yourself there, feeling that emotion in front of you. And look at your face there. Who's feeling the emotion? And look at how that self there is standing with that emotion. And as you see that emotion there, float backwards or move backwards. Get a little more distance and notice how you change now, putting distance between you and that emotion. And continue to look at that self there and look around in that situation. Notice how you feel different now as you think back on the situation. You feel different now as you think back on the situation. And you see yourself there and you look around, and it can almost be funny to notice how you had felt anger there before, and now, that's right, you can feel at peace. And now look around. What I'd like you to do is just give a piece of advice to that self there. That's right. And notice what that part does with the advice and how everything changes. That's right. And bring yourself back to your presence now. Bring yourself back to now and open your eyes. Oh, what was that like, Master Baez?
Powerful. Powerful exercise. I think this is one of the best exercises that we could do for our audience and for me. Dealing with loss is one of the most painful experiences that a human being can ever go through. And for me, that was the loss of my first marriage, where I was basically, in my experience, my ex-wife left. She wanted to move on without me, and she left. And that was the picture that I was visualizing, was how I felt when I kept pushing and trying to get us back together over the phone or in person. But there was one moment that I was over the phone. I was really trying to get us back together because we share a daughter together. And at the time, that was my reasoning. I said, well, we have a child together. We need to be together, And I kept pushing, but she had already moved on into a new relationship, and she told me that. And that was the most devastating moment, I would say, at that time in my experience. And when you said, step out of it, look at yourself, I literally stared at myself, like face to face, but it was like I pushed the pause button on that experience. But I was in the experience, moving around my apartment, looking at myself. It was amazing. And then you said, step even further and look at it. And then you said, go back, give yourself some advice. I gave myself some advice. because you really don't know the future when you're going through the painful experience. But now, as I went back, I know what happened in my life. I met my current wife, who has shown me what it's like to be loved and to be in a balanced relationship where it reciprocates. The love reciprocates, where it's not one-sided. And if I would have known that then, I wouldn't have even tried to get us back together. I would have been like, let's hurry up and break up. So I gave myself some, right, right. I gave myself the advice. It changes everything. It changes how I feel about being angry at that moment. So when I remember that moment now, I'm no longer angry. I'm happy. I'm so glad that I moved on. So I guess if we did this more, we wouldn't have to deal with anger and depression as much as we probably do deal with. And not to mention, being angry like that increases your blood pressure. You can give yourself a heart attack. You can make yourself sick, and for no reason at all, because it's all happening to me. When you asked me to pause it, I was like, wow, I'm feeling all this anger and resentment towards this person, and this person is not feeling anything. They moved on, and I realize I'm injuring myself, and I'm doing it to myself. I'm blaming this person, but in reality, I can pause, move back, step out of it, and I can decide to be in control. And I think that's the power you gave today, Justin, is to decide that we're not going to let anger and depression take over, that we actually have a huge influence in how we feel. And I don't want to, I don't want the viewers to think that feeling angry or feeling depressed is wrong. It's not wrong. But if you do feel that way, it's time to take control. And hopefully you'll be able to follow these techniques. Justin, that's my feedback. Thank you so much for that exercise.
You're welcome. I have just one last thing to say, is that I did not give you that power. I am simply a guide. You, Master Baez, and you, the viewer, you do these things naturally in your mind. You just have never been consciously aware of it. And now what I just showed you is something that you've already done an infinite amount of times. And now you're just gaining conscious control over that.
That's awesome. Thank you, Justin. I hope everybody enjoyed we ran out of time. This is all the time we have for today. Please make sure you subscribe to our videos. Make sure that you visit our website, reprogramyourself.com. Get the secret self-esteem booster technique there. And I just want to tell the viewers also that we're planning a live event. We don't know the dates yet, but we are planning a live event, so look out for that. If you're wondering when we're going to do this live event, just register on our website so you can get the emails and the messages and the updates for this live event. So thank you, Justin. This was an awesome conversation. Thank you so much for the exercise today. I think it was amazing.
You're welcome.
This is it for today.
Thank you. See you guys later.